Hello, everybody, and welcome again to today's episode of Meet the Presenters. Today, I am joined by Evelyn McFadden. Evelyn is a hypnotherapist and mind coach and has been doing so for many years now, and she's based in County Kildare. So, Evelyn, many people will know who you are, but for those who don't, please introduce yourself. Nice to have you along.
Thank you very much. Well, I have a background in adult education and in swimming. So for many years, I have been involved with people,
Yeah.
in people in close proximity for a long, long time. And the reason I got into hypnotherapy was I would have noticed naturally a lot of people that were maybe a bit confused about life, or sometimes there was a lot of common sense stuff. And I used to say to myself, I think I would know how to help that person.
Mhm.
And I would have found that I didn't want to be a counselor. I looked into it. It wasn't the way I wanted to go. It was a lot of years. It wasn't really what I wanted. I thought, because sometimes when I would speak to people and I'd be out and I would say something to them, a lot of people started to tell me their problems, and I might say something to them and they'd say, oh God, that makes sense. And I'd find that it was useful information I was giving people. And I used to think to myself, I'd love to have a job where I was doing stuff that's common sense. Now, not making light of anything, but I found a lot of the stuff, probably because I knew it from my own experience and was able to impart the knowledge and the information and to see it in people, that it seemed to be natural for me.
Yeah.
So I looked at different ways that I could do this, but I didn't seem to be able to find anything except it was counseling. And then I came across hypnotherapy, and I wasn't really sure, because I didn't know whether it'd be genuine or not till I met somebody, and she just happened to be finishing a course, and I said, "Oh, oh," and I said, "I meant to do this." So
Okay.
that's where it started.
Okay. So, whenever you started learning hypnotherapy, now that's a good while ago now, and you've many years of experience under your belt. But from when you first started, if you wouldn't mind, if you could elaborate on your own experience on how your own understanding and approach to hypnotherapy and with hypnotherapy has evolved over the years of practice.
Okay, so I would have started with what I call the standard, which is fine, the different techniques
Mhm.
and different ways, different teachers, researching different ways, finding a way that sit with me comfortably,
Mhm.
and a very common sense approach. As I say, I have a very common sense mindset, and to be able to delve in and question people and really get to the really revealing answers for the questions that I'd be asking.
Yeah.
I work with children a lot because I have a swimming school. I've been involved in swimming for years and years and years, but it's the same families and the same children for years.
Yeah.
So I got to know children, I got to know families. And as the children got a little bit older, when they turned from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I would have noticed as differences and differences in different children that I'd have known for years because I'd have them every week for half an hour, just me and them, making up stories and finding ways to make them feel comfortable and how to teach them.
Yeah.
I like to teach creatively.
Mhm.
And I would have noticed children being a little bit different, maybe a little bit of, I don't like to use the word anxiety, unease.
Yeah.
And the parents might say to me, they're not in good form today, and maybe something happened at school or whatever. And then I started to really notice there was a lot of stuff going on in my school around me. I had a lot of involvement with the families for years because I would have taught the older kids from the time they were 4 moving up along. And I really would have had good relationship. The parents would be sending me photographs of the kids holidays and stuff where they'd be swimming. So it became a very strong bond.
Mhm.
And I would have said to the parents, I can write a story for your child because I was hypnotizing children for years in the water.
Yeah.
Saying, lie on your back, look at the stars, look at the witch. Halloween now, we're having great fun. Float, look at witch, blow bubbles, Halloween bubbles, chocolate bubbles. I've been doing for years, tapping into what children liked to get them comfortable in the water. So I was putting children at ease for years. So
Yeah.
it was a natural progression for me to start writing stories for children
Yeah.
the way I do it now. I work with adults and children, and I actually work with families as well. But I would have children in my practice here. It's not a natural setting for a child
Mhm.
because there's a parent or maybe two parents and me. So it's a woman, a stranger with a child, and the child would find it often very difficult to open up because you know yourself, parents speak for the child.
Yes.
They over explain.
Yeah.
And sometimes when a child tells you something that the parent didn't know, and it leads on to something else, it's a whole different dynamic, which is
Yes.
great because it exposes stuff that's going on, underlying little things that are big to children.
Mhm.
So it was easier for me to take it. I would do some CBT with the children. I would do different interactions with the children as well,
Okay.
common sense stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
But then I would always back it up with the story.
yeah.
So the story would be about techniques for breathing and how wonderful they are and how smart they are, but it would always be with a holistic approach because I would always talk about school, play, sports, family, whatever else, um, every aspect of their life because you're building confidence for
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
So that's really, so the fairy tales are based on information that I get from the kids. I either insert them into the story or they're observers.
Yeah, and I obviously was with you in Larne a couple of weeks ago, at one of our regular meetups that we have as part of the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. And you explained a little bit about that. Now, obviously, we're very delighted to have you with us because you've presented at HypnoThoughts Live.
Las Vegas, baby.
Las Vegas, baby. We have a celebrity amidst us. But the whole thing with it is, so you're going to be with us in April. And what I would love for you to do is just explain to us, why should people come and see you? What is your presentation about? If you could just elaborate a little on that first, that would be great.
Okay. So I know that a lot of people feel uneasy or uncomfortable working with children.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is, we tell stories all our lives. From the time children are born, we're telling them stories. We're telling about Santa, we're making up stories about their birthday parties, or making up stories when they're sad or whatever. Storytelling is natural for us. We have the Shanakees. It happened years and years ago. People went to houses telling stories. Stories is natural for us. With the children, you're feeding them the airplane and the airport, open your
Yeah.
mouth. It's natural. So you're tapping into something that's natural. There's nothing extraordinary about it. You need to have a sense of creativity, but you can do your research. I get a list of the different things the children like, everything that I can find out about them, their favorite artists, their food, people they like, people they don't like, subjects at school, sports, favorite place for their holidays, safest place, and all of those kind of things. So what I do then is when I gather the information, I know that the symptoms the child has. So it might be bedwetting, or it could be being on off food, or being anxious, or not being able to sleep, or the monsters under the bed. Everybody has the ability to tell a story. I'm telling you a story now.
Yeah.
We have the ability to tell the story. So you wind the story around the information and the techniques that you want to teach the children
Mhm.
about the breathing, really important, how extraordinary their imaginations are because we don't really understand imagination. And it's important for people to understand that what runs us, our conscious, unconscious mind and imaginations, are not visible or
Mm.
don't actually exist anywhere that can be proven.
Yeah.
So children don't even think about that. They live on their imagination all the time.
Yeah.
So you tap into um, what's common sense, and what's normal, their favorite place, their beach or whatever. It's not extraordinary to put a remote control into a child's brain, or a console, or a magic wand. It's not extraordinary at all. It's actually quite natural.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is, without having to worry too much about working with children, getting the symptoms, having the chat, and being able to write a story, instead of like you would do in your clinic with an adult, you'd take the information and you'd tell a story, you'd read whatever it is you want to read that you've programmed into your mind. You're doing the same thing for a child, but they listen every night in bed. It's their own fairy story, or may not be about fairies, but it's their own
I
personal
understand.
story.
Mhm. Yeah.
But just to say this, the most important thing is the story is always building a child up, saying all the most wonderful things you would ever want to hear.
Yeah.
So if you look at how a lot of people at the stage we get to our lives, we've had a lot of knocks and all of that. If we'd known some of the stuff we know now,
Yeah.
life would be very easy. So you're building a sense of awareness and self control of their thoughts and their emotions, and you're actually giving them tools to build resilience, and you're sending them on a different path, the path that they understand that they have more control than they ever thought they would have.
Yeah. So I'm just drawing an inference here because Obviously, I've seen some of the things you talk about, and it is fantastic. You're really, really, you're brilliant at presenting.
Thank
One of
you.
the things that, yeah, fiver in the post, please. One of the things,
Only.
there's more than a fiver, but no, one of the things that you said there a moment ago, which I found interesting, is that, and I'm one of them, right? Like I have a practice myself, and I don't enjoy working with kids, right? It's not my way. I'm a bit more, the youngest people I work with are about 14, right? And that's just my own preference, right? But I think potentially what you're talking about is a way in which someone even like me who can just go, I could grab hold of that. And I suppose the main takeaway as an inference, I'm guessing, is that you want people to be able to go, do you know what? I can do this.
Yes, absolutely. Because the children are the forgotten ones.
Yeah, true.
They really are. And you were a child.
Still am.
Everyone you know was a child.
Yeah, yeah,
And the fear is, and even the people who come in, I would have people come into my practice, my clinic, you too, that know a lot of stuff.
yeah, yeah,
And they'll phone me and they'll say, you're not going to be able to do anything. I don't even know why I'm coming. So that's all right, come and have a chat. And
yeah,
that's okay. But the thing about children is children will believe anything that you tell them,
yeah,
particularly if they're brought with their parent and it's okay, it's a safe environment, and you're going to say, I'm going to write a great story for you because I think you're so important and I think you'll love it and it'll be very special. And every time you listen to it, you're going to love it more because it's going to make you feel so, so good. And you'll find out how to use your powerful, magical imagination in ways that you never even believed. It's so easy for you. And that's exactly what I would say to you
yeah.
right now.
Because I'm listening to you, and having experienced, you in Lauren a couple of weeks ago. I suppose as hypnotists, hypnotherapists, we sometimes get a little bit bogged down in technique and, well, whatever the technique may be, six-step reframe, parts, whatever it might be, could be anything, right? That becomes second nature and it becomes something we do. Whereas in actual fact, that is not necessary for a child.
No.
It's much more simple. And I think, I'm coming to your presentation, right? I'm going to be front row.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to be front row because this is something that I think a lot of us as hypnotherapists and hypnotists can really benefit from because I know I'm not alone with this sort of thought process.
But can I just say this? What's great about it is you may just meet a child on Zoom for 10 or 15 minutes, have a chat with the parents, and you don't even have to actually have your child here at all,
Yeah.
depending on what the issue is.
Yeah.
So you can get information, a phone call from somebody, get information, have a chat, get the information. Now, for me, it takes a long time for me to write a story because I really have to get into the idea of the child. I like to see a photo, I like to see the bedroom, and it takes me time because I have to see the child listening to the story, even if I don't know the child.
Yeah,
I
I
have
get
to
that.
see them in bed listening to the story. I have to see will they enjoy that, how will they react to this because it's based on stuff that they like.
Yeah.
So it takes time. It's not like this.
You can't just squiggle it. It's
Yeah,
bespoke
it
product
takes
in
time,
every
but
way.
that necessarily won't be the same for everybody. And I have certain there's phrases and templates that you'll do for different parts of it. A lot of the stuff is the same.
Yeah.
Breathing, the relaxation, and the compliments and the praise and picking out things they're good at and saying, how easy it is for them to be, behave the way they want to be around people, feeling comfortable and all of that. A lot of that stuff is the same. But that's woven in. That's the essence of it. The story is just the frame.
It's how you package it really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to it. And I've seen you present and I would encourage people to come and see you big time.
Thank you so
So,
much. I would love to see people come and
oh,
see.
people will be there. Don't you worry. Do not worry. So, last thing I'd like to discuss with you, if you wouldn't mind, is what would you say to people who were maybe on the fence or maybe sort of humming and hawing about attending the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference? Obviously, we've been there for many years, but what would you say to people to encourage them to come along? Why is it important to attend the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference?
Oh, loads of reasons. We spend a lot of time doing courses and add-ons and online and paying for this and attendance here and attendance there and spreading ourselves all over the place for courses. When you go to the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference, you have it all in the same place. Multiple choices over 3 days, international speakers from all over the world, writers, medical people, scientists, experts in their field, and everybody is approachable. You get to sit with people and have a chat and approach them, and it is the best learning network. And it taps you into what's out there, and you can be guided in a particular direction you wanted. Or, like my case, you might decide this is something that I hadn't really thought about, and then come to one of my workshops or whatever else. And people are there to enhance your
Yes.
learning, to make you more comfortable, to build your confidence. There's no limit to it.
Correct. I actually couldn't put that any better. So, on that note, I'd like to thank you for your time,
Thank you so
Evelyn.
much.
And I would encourage everyone to go and see your presentation in the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. But for now, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Andy. All the best. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.